In last night's State of the Union, President Trump attacked me personally. To be honest, it was unexpected, but not a surprise, because this is exactly what petty tyrants do.
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, people. You know that it helps us out a ton, and it only takes the minimum amount of effort from you. And it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this content. Now, if you watched the State of the Union address a couple of days ago, you probably saw President Donald Trump mention Stacey Abrams on the national stage. Now, to her credit, he didn't go in on her, y'all. He didn't, you know how Donald Trump is. He didn't go in on her, but he did put her on blast. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at Donald Trump calling Stacey Abrams out for getting $2 billion from the Biden administration. And then we're going to see that Stacey Abrams actually did. She responded to that, and she responded forcefully. So first, let's take a look at what Donald Trump had to say. We're going to play the whole clip so that you have the context, and then we'll come back and see what Stacey Abrams had to say back to Donald Trump.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
So as you can see, Stacey Abrams was unceremoniously booed at the address. Now, Stacey Abrams, of course, had to clap back, right? Wouldn't you clap back if they booed you? I know I would. So Stacey Abrams had to clap back, but before you watch what she said on CNN, y'all, I'm going to give you my opinion. What the Democrats need right now is a different strategy. The whole strategy of calling Donald Trump a tyrant, a dictator, this and that, it lost. They literally lost the election on it, and they continue with the same thing. It's like, hey, you know what didn't work? Let's double down on that. Bad strategy. So, spoiler alert, you're going to see a doubling and a tripling down on the strategy that has failed miserably. Let's take a look.
So what do you think is the more effective message, the during the speech or after?
I have a podcast called Assembly Required, and we have been having this conversation for the last 6 weeks. And we have to do all of the above. We have to call out Donald Trump on his lies. We have to point out that an unelected oligarch is doing his best to steal America from its people in Elon Musk. We have a complicit Congress that is allowing him to fire thousands of people who should be delivering services to Americans. And he is now starting trade wars to cover for the fact that he has failed to deliver on his day one promises. Donald Trump is an early failure, and he's hoping that by attacking folks like me and others, that we won't notice that he has failed and that he has no intention of delivering anything other than retribution. He is a petty tyrant who is surrounded by complicit flunkies, and it is the job of Americans to stand up and say, we want what we voted for, and that is progress for America, not petty revenge for Donald Trump.
But in the subject of pettiness, even what Democrats were doing during the speech with the signs of what Al Green did, you don't find that petty?
I do not, because in an opposition position, your job is to show people what is true. And we have a president who's doing his best to clamp down on the media, to shut down on protest. He does not want us to use our First Amendment rights. Let's not forget who is in power. They control both branches of government, and they have appointed the majority of the Supreme Court. If Republicans can't deliver when they hold all of the power, then what they're telling us is that they're powerless, and it's up to Americans to take our power back, to take our country back, and to create the future that we deserve.
Stacey Abrams, thanks so much for being with us.
So as you can see, Donald Trump is making jokes. He has people laughing. He has people enjoying themselves at the address. He has people even emotionally invested as he's showing the child who is hopefully cured of cancer and who received the Secret Service Commission, and mothers of people who have fallen. You know, he's bringing the emotions, he's bringing the laughs, and then the response is, hey, that guy's a tyrant. He's a dictator. And it's like, yo, you haven't won any elections, right? You lost the election against Donald Trump with this same rhetoric. Like, maybe try something else. You know what I mean? Maybe you try something else at this point, because that's not working. This is just my opinion at this point, y'all. You know, I don't have anything against Stacey or any of the Democrats. I know y'all do. I'm just an observer, and I'm observing that is not working. Now, Stacey also took to her own podcast to give some more detail. So if you all want to know more about Stacey Abrams and her movement, you can check out her podcast. I'm going to go ahead and run that clip as well. But I won't be back for any more commentary, y'all. So don't forget to like, do comment. But before everything, stop right now. Hit the share button. Put in somebody's text message, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. Just share it to somebody. Share it to your grandmama. Share it to somebody, please. And if you aren't a subscriber, please do subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. You know I love y'all. Now let's go ahead and run the final clip.
In last night's State of the Union, President Trump attacked me personally. To be honest, it was unexpected, but not a surprise, because this is exactly what petty tyrants do. But let me be clear. Donald Trump and his lackeys aren't attacking me because I've done something wrong. They're attacking me because I've done something right. Republicans in Georgia and in the White House are terrified of voter engagement and the power of the people. Why? Because they're failing to deliver on their promises to protect and defend Americans. Trump and his complicit Republicans want to distract from their failures by targeting those of us who have the audacity to stand up and demand more. They're scared of us because we actually fight for the people, because we believe in we the people. They're afraid that we will show Americans and the world what's right, not through insult, but through action. And yes, we've taken action. We've registered and turned out thousands of Georgians. We've lowered energy prices for the working class and tackled the climate crisis that is gripping every part of our country. That's why they're abusing their power to come after me, because we've shown we can deliver. Independent fact checkers have repeatedly called these attacks false, but the lies are the point. This isn't a new strategy. It's the common playbook of authoritarians and authoritarians in waiting. And while I might be one of the first targets for their abuse of power, I will not be the last. That's why we must not back down. Our country, our people, and our future are worth fighting for. And as I've always said, when we fight, we win. So how do we fight back in this moment? First, we have to call out lies when they spew them. We can't give them a pass. We have to forcefully, consistently push back. Second, we have to organize. Louder, smarter, and together. They want us silent, discouraged, and divided. Instead, we show up, we mobilize, and we bring more people into this movement to deliver for the people. Third, we engage. They wouldn't work so hard to suppress our voices if our votes didn't matter, so we register, we turn out, and we remind them that the power still belongs to the people and that the government must serve the people, not the other way around. This fight isn't just about me. It's about all of us. And if we stand together, I promise you, we win.